WWE had to scrap some original plans for Rhea Ripley, and in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what those plans were and how they avoided making a mistake with Rhea and Liv. Because Rhea Ripley, she had a strong 2023, winning the Women's Royal Rumble match, going to WrestleMania 39, dethroning Charlotte Flair as the champion, and having a run of a lifetime over the last, I don't know, 16 months, 18 months, something like that. Her alliance with the Judgment Day, it's done very well. But she's had a lot of pitfalls, right? She's actually had highs and she's had lows. She has gone from retaining the Women's World title against Nia Jax in her home country of Australia at the Elimination Chamber PLE. She has gone to retaining said championship over Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 40, something that not a lot of people, including myself, thought was actually going to happen. She then was going to get into a program with Liv Morgan, only for Liv to injure her in a backstage segment, and Rhea went down due to a AC joint sprain in her shoulder, resulting in her missing time from in-ring action, forcing her to vacate her Women's World Championship in the prime of her career, at a time where the fan base was well behind her. Like they were fully behind her. It was full send, right? That had to be scrapped, and that was honestly, it was a tragedy. So now we have Rhea back on television. Now we have her mixing it up with Liv, verbally at least, right? Her, Dominic Mysterio, and kudos to WWE for being able to bridge the gap where we have gone from the vacating of the championship with Rhea, the hunt with Liv Morgan, the crowning of Liv Morgan, the return of Rhea, and now we're going to get the match. But in case you didn't know, it wasn't always a guaranteed lock that Rhea was going to return. Instead, there was a little bit of a question mark as to whether or not she would be able to return. The hope had always been, let's do Rhea Ripley Liv Morgan at SummerSlam, August 3rd in Cleveland. But Rhea was not medically cleared. There was talk, what are we going to do, what are we going to do? And that leads us to today's video, because PW Insider put out an interesting report. Now, Rhea Ripley just returned to television last week on Monday Night Raw, and is obviously back on television going forward. She, in fact, even opened the show this week. And it was made official. We're going to get Liv. We're going to get Rhea. We're going to get it at SummerSlam with the Women's World title on the line. Now, PW Insider, they put out an interesting report today in which I want to cover here on the channel. And that is the fact that initially the original plans that WWE came up with was we were going to not do the match at SummerSlam. Why were we not going to do that? Well, WWE, they had a little bit of a problem. They were not sure if Rhea would be medically cleared in time for SummerSlam. They didn't want to build the match, book the match, announce the match, cancel the match. Well, Rhea is so confident that she's going to get medically cleared that she said, hey guys, don't worry about that. I'm going to get medically cleared. Go ahead and book it. So the original plans were scrapped. The original plans was we're not going to do the match. We'll have Rhea return at SummerSlam, and or we will have her do it on Monday Night Raw 2 nights later after SummerSlam. That would have been a big, big mistake. You need this match on this card. And I'll tell you why. If you've noticed, they have gone full send on PLEs, right? They have their media rights deal locked up for Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. That is good to go. Raw is going to Netflix 2025. NXT is going from USA Network to the CW Network this fall. In turn, SmackDown is leaving Fox, coming back to USA Network around that same time. So they have those taken care of. They got the Peacock deal done. But when it comes to site fees, what they've found with the UFC is, hey, and they also found this out with WrestleMania, which is, hey, if we take a big event, a WrestleMania, to your city, you're going to get a local economy boost. It's going to do wonders for your city. You should want to bid on our product. You should want to host our event. It's a major deal. And so they did this with WrestleMania, and then they started to branch out with SummerSlams and your Money in the Banks. And they're like, okay, we had Money in the Bank and SummerSlam out in Vegas and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, okay, this is catching on. And then you had international countries come to WWE, your Puerto Ricos, your Scotlands, your UKs, your Canadas, etc., and said, hey, we want you to bring a PLE to our country. We see what you're doing. We see the benefit. We'll pay you X amount if you'll do that. And they said, okay, great. And so they found that in these international markets and countries, they can get a high site fee. So instead of saying, okay, we're going to book an event in New York or Brooklyn or LA or wherever, just to book it, just like we would do all of our television and live events, screw that. We'll have these countries, these cities, bid or at least make an offer to host it. They cover our production costs, renting out the venue, we get a little bit of a kickback, and it's good to go. And it's like, okay, that makes business sense. So now they are essentially, they just put an escalator in the deal, right? Where, okay, we got Brooklyn over here and we have LA over here. Well, which one's going to get the event, right? And so Brooklyn puts a little bit more, and then LA, and you start a bidding war, and you're off to the races, and you're making more money, and you're much more profitable, right? It's actually a very smart business practice. Because if you look at it like WWE, they've already made it very, very clear. SummerSlam is going to be a big event. They've always touted and promoted and advertised and hyped. SummerSlam was the WrestleMania version event of the summer. And it's like, is it? Not really. Well, they're really going all out. And so when you look at this card, it tells you, okay, yeah, this is a big event. This is a big deal. You should pay attention to it. Right, 2026, it's going to a 2-night event. You look at the card right now, it's pretty freaking loaded. You have Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE Championship against Solo Sikoa. Damian Priest puts his world title on the line against Gunther. Obviously, you have Liv, Rhea, women's world title. You have Bayley defending the women's championship against Nia Jax. You have LA Knight, Logan Paul for the U.S. title. I see there being 2 title changes here on the card. That's notable, right? So if you look at it all in that terms, I think it's a big deal, and I think it's something fans should keep an eye on going forward with future